As the fans who are interested in fantasy fiction are engrossed in watching ACOLYTE, do you know about this series? If not, well, it's gaining good viewership. And if you like this series, or if you want to know if you'll like watching this series, then we've got you covered. Because in this video, we're going to give you a complete analysis of ACOLYTE's 4th episode. So get your popcorn and get seated for this amazing journey. And let's get started. We finally got to see the Sith Master, or at least we think it might be the Sith Master. There's still a lot of mystery about whether this person is the Master or just an apprentice. Maybe the real Master will show up later, that's a possibility. But we think this episode gave us some pretty good hints about who this masked person is. Remember that Darth Teeth thing? Well, there were a few shaky parts in the episode, especially how they set things up and how they're going to explain that plot hole about the Scythe not being around for 1,000 years. There are some key characters from the Phantom Menace that make the current timeline tricky. We will have to see if ACOLYTE can wrap this up nicely without it feeling forced. If they can't explain it well, that could be a problem for the series. This episode was called Day, so we're guessing the next one will be Night. It's like a day and night theme, just like the titles for Maya and Osha from the first episodes. It's a metaphor for the Jedi being overshadowed by the Sith, like the dual eclipse we saw during the Ascension flashbacks in the last episode. One of the big complaints about the series so far is that it was supposed to be all about the Sith, but we haven't seen much Sith action yet. It's been more about the Force, which isn't the same thing. The episode starts with killed Naka on Kofar, living in the wreckage of a crashed ship. It's not clear if it's his ship or one he just found. The locals say he vanished into the jungle about a year ago, so the ship's probably been there longer. The symbols he has drawn on the wall look like yin-yang drawings, showing the dark and light sides of the Force circling each other. May has a spiral symbol on her forehead from the Ascension ceremony, similar to the Force symbol. Meanwhile, Jackie is still training with her lightsaber under Master Lachey, a new character introduced in this episode. The story puts a spotlight on how different the Jedi and Sith are. May and Kamir are chatting about how Jedi only draw their lightsabers when they're ready to use them, just like cops with their guns. It's kind of like a big debate about when it's okay to fight and when it's not. The show isn't very pro-Jedi. It actually kind of paints them as corrupt space cops. Master Lachey talks about not striking unless necessary, which is similar to how Indara fought in the first episode. She dodged May's attacks, which was pretty cool. Osha and May have a touching moment where they say goodbye. They have a strong bond, like they'll meet up again someday and swap stories. Osha's still a big fan of the Jedi, especially grateful for how they helped her clear her name. She's upset about her sister and leaves it in the Jedi to find her, saying it's too hard for her to handle. May and Kamir head to Kofar, where Kamir's acting is all clumsy and goofy again, just like in episode 2. But don't be fooled, his antics might just be a cover. He claims he bravely ventured into the forest to find killed Naka, showing off his fearlessness and tracking skills. There is a sneaky hint that he could be the mysterious Sith Lord, Dark Teeth, or whatever we're calling him. Back at the Jedi Council, Sol and others watch footage of May's fight. They don't mention Sith directly at first, thinking May might be part of a rogue group. But when someone suggests she might be connected to something worse, they are hinting at the Sith or some other dark side group. Not all dark side users are Sith, but they are a big concern of the Jedi. Vanessa Rowe shows up and explains why they're keeping May's situation quiet from the High Council led by Yoda. They are more focused on finding the potential Sith Master than dealing with May herself. They worry that if news of a Sith threat gets out, it could hurt the Jedi's reputation and power in the galaxy. This secrecy ties into Kamir's earlier talks about undermining the Jedi's influence. Vanessa tells Sol they can't tell the High Council, hinting at a cover-up. This secrecy sets a stage for the big surprise in the Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon Jinn mentions the Sith. The Council's like, Sith? They've been gone forever, which might be because these lower-ranking Jedi kept their findings under wraps. During this meeting, a Jedi Master talks to Ki-Adi-Mundi about a Sith threat, which later creates a bit of a mystery. In the Phantom Menace, Ki-Adi-Mundi claims that the Sith haven't been around for 1,000 years, so why the change? Well, a few ideas are floating around. One theory is mind-wiping. Maybe Kamir, possibly the Sith Master, can erase memories using Sith tricks, and this could explain why no Jedi remembers the Sith Master from the meeting. Another possibility is a big cover-up. Lower-ranking Jedi might have kept everything under wraps, hiding the truth from their higher-ups. Or it could be that some Jedi, like Ki-Adi-Mundi, just didn't realize the full scope of the threat discussed in that meeting. In an earlier episode, Kimir warned that Jedi not to use mind control powers on him, hinting he might have memory manipulating abilities. This could be how the show explains why the Jedi are unaware of the Sith Master, setting the stage for the surprise in The Phantom Menace. There is a lot of speculation about mind wiping and big battles where Jedi might not survive. Oh, and remember that character who looked like Plo Koon? Turns out it's not him, just someone from his race, according to Lucasfilm. Sol and Vanessa Rowe discuss May's master without saying Sith, focusing on how this might be part of a plan to weaken confidence in the Jedi across the galaxy. It seems like a step in the Sith's long-term strategy to destroy the Jedi Order by sowing doubt. Back in Qatar, Kimir talks about May's mission to fight Jedi without a weapon. He dodges questions about his master, sometimes getting serious before going back to his fool act. This mirrors what the Jedi talked about shifting the scales to make people doubt the Jedi, a theme the Sith Master also mentioned. Sol stops Osha from leaving, showing she still believes in the Jedi despite her doubts. She wants to help May, but feels held back by her past. She's slowly regaining her Jedi skills like Grogu in The Mandalorian. Remember how Grogu hid from powerful enemies and lost his abilities? It took time for him to recover too. Ocean introduces Basil, a small tracker from an aquatic race who looks like a mix of a beaver and a badger. There is some humor about Basil's gender, later confirmed as male. Yan, a strict character, shows he cares about Ocean despite being tough on her. Yan mentions Siri Wook, a Wookiee language, and Ocean asks him to handle May if things get rough, not wanting to hesitate like before. Sol brought Osha along to prove that she can still be a force for good. As both groups venture into the forest, it feels like when Luke Skywalker went into the cave on Dagobah. The place is so heavy with the dark side of the Force. The music hints that the giant bugs will be important soon, with one attacking quickly before more trouble likely arises in the next episode. In this episode, the bugs are drawn to light, which becomes crucial at the end. When the Jedi use their lightsabers, it risks attacking a swarm of these bugs. Osha feels sad about killing one, but Jiki explains that in the Star Wars universe, death means becoming one with the Force. Jedi can even become Force ghosts, keeping their consciousness after death, which eases their fear of dying. In this Sith-focused series, Sith can also cheat death by preserving their essence in objects like Sith holocrons, different from becoming Force ghosts but allowing them to live on. Kimir keeps May moving fast towards Kill Naka. May reveals more about her mission called the Final Test by her master. The goal is to make Jedi go against their beliefs, essentially destroying their faith, and this aligns with the Sith Master's aim to kill the dream of the Jedi Order by eroding their principles. There is speculation about Kimir's time gap and his possible donning of Sith gear to kill Naka and return without notice. However, the Jedi confront May at the ship, and the Sith Master appears floating down in a helmet and cloak, igniting his lightsaber and pushing Osha aside. May watches, fearing it could be Kimir, as the episode ends on a cliffhanger. So did you enjoy watching the 4th episode of ACOLYTE? Please do share your experience in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed watching today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.